Samia Suluhu Hassan, Tanzania's first female president, reading versions on March 19 in 2021. Samia Suluhu Hassan made history when she was sworn in as sixth president of Tanzania, becoming the first woman to hold this country's highest office. Her rise to the presidency was a momentous event in East African Union and even in African countries across the continent. Following the sudden death of President John Pombe Magufuli, whose controversial roles and had shaped much of the nation's recent history, for many, Samia's leadership marked the shift both in the political landscape in the direction of Tanzania would take moving forward. But what has Samia Suluhu Hassan as president meant for Tanzania, and how she shaped her nation in her first years in power? The life of Samia Suluhu Hassan started in Iceland. Samia Suluhu Hassan, born in January 27th in 1916 in the eastern region of Zanzibar. Samia Suluhu Hassan grew up in the political family that inspired in her sense of public duties. After completing her education in Tanzania and abroad, she worked in various governmental roles before being appointed as vice president under President John Pombe Magufuli in 2015. Despite being relatively quiet and revised figure during her times as vice president, Samia proved to be scrutiny neglector, gaining a reputation for her pragmatic approach to both the most domestic and international issues. Samia's path to the presidency was not one that many had anticipated. After sudden death of Magufuli in March 2021 from heart-related illness, Samia, who was vice president at the time, was contradictionally required to step into leadership roles. Though Tanzania had never had a female president before, Samia's claim dominated extensive experience in the government and respected background made her an acceptable choice in the eyes of many Tanzanians. Upon taking office, she immediately began to treasure to regions of the nation, calling the unity and stability during the period of uncertainty. Samia's leadership was seen as a necessary shift after Magufuli's autocratic styles, which had significant crackdown on political opposition's media freedom and public disclosure. One of Samia's first and most significant act president was addressing the issue of COVID-19 under Magufuli, and Tanzania had taken an unconventional approach to pandemic, with government downplaying its sovereignty and rejecting widespread vaccinations. In stark contrast, Samia's acknowledged the reliability of pandemic and took steps to procure vaccines and launch nationwide vaccination campaign. This move was adapted from Magufuli's policies, signaling the international community that Tanzania would be cooperation with global health efforts. Samia's approach to COVID-19 was one of many signs that her presidency would prioritize pragmatic governance under ideology of purity. Domestically, Samia has pressed significant emphasis the economic recovery. Tanzania's economy had been hit hard by the global pandemic. Samia's government took swift measures to addressing immediate challenge. Her administration focused on infrastructure development, promoting investment in the sectors such as agriculture, mining, manufacturing. On one of the most notable initiatives has been pushed large-scale infrastructure projects, including the construction of standard gauge railway and expansion of Dar es Salaam's ports. Those projects are as part of her broader vision to make Tanzania's regional trade hubs and a more competitive player in East African community landscape. One of the political fronts, Samia has taken a step to open up the space dialogues reconciliation, while she has maintained her stance on the importance of law and orders. Her government has shown the shorter touch with political oppositions, stark contrast to the heavy-handed tactic employed by Magufuli. In her early months in the office, she launched out the punch opposition leaders' staggering willingness to engage in dialogues. She moved to shift restrictions in the media, which had been tight under previous administrations, and allowed the return elected journalists. Those restrictions have been heralded by the critics of former regime as a sign of positive political reforms. Internationally, Samia has worked to rebuild Tanzania's relationship with other nations, especially following Magufuli's isolationism foreign policy. She has sought to restore Tanzania's image on the global stage, strengthening ties with the United States, the European Union, and the African Union. Had diplomatic efforts have focused on improving trade relations, attracting foreign investment, and contributing to the regional peace of effort, particularly in the Great Lakes region. Her leadership has particularly led for fostering cooperation approach in East African integration, especially in Kenya and Uganda, which previously been straight during the Magufuli era. Despite the success, Samia Suluhu Hassan faced a number of challenges, one of the biggest handling equation in political legacy. Though she has been widely praised for her leadership styles, balancing pragmatism and progressivism, her administration will still be judged on its ability to address long-standing issues such as poverty, corruption, and the education sectors. Furthermore, Samia Suluhu Hassan's leadership will be tested by her ability to fostering through democratic reform while merging Tanzania into political establishment, which will hold significant sway in government institutions. Her presidency has also sparked debate regarding the future of women in Tanzania political. As the first women to hold the office, Samia's leadership inspired many young women in Tanzania across Africa to consider political careers, but some critics argue that her rise to power was alleged due to political circumstances following Magufuli leaves, rather than the result of significant manifest activism within Tanzania politicals. Samia Suluhu Hassan's presidency has been marked by a balance of pragmatism, economic ambitions, and political reconciliation. Her leadership presents departure from the headline policy of predecessors Magufuli's, but whether her administration can overcome the challenge corruption, poverty, and political reforms will shape Tanzania's future for generations to come. As the first female president of Tanzania, Samia has already secured the praise of history. The true test of legacy will rise in her ability to deliver on her promise and navigate of complexities, trading, deserve, and rapidly changing nations. If you found this so insightful, don't forget to make sure to subscribe to Ncuti TV show. Subscribe, link people with friends, and share this video with your friends. Special thanks. In the next video, we will be talking about the positive change brought by Samia Suluhu Hassan during his presence in Tanzania. How the Tanzanian react about the positive change brought by Samia Suluhu Hassan as the first female leading in high office in Tanzania in the eyes of intelligence. Thank you.